The Outer Limits ran for 7 seasons, 152 episodes, 0 recurring characters. It launched with a pilot that earned an Emmy nomination. It handed Luke Skywalker a cameo credit while he carried the whole episode, and it turned a teenage Ryan Reynolds into its unofficial recurring face, in a show specifically designed so no face ever came back.
What's that supposed to mean?
Don't find out.
These are 14 hidden truths about the series that controlled your television for 7 years.
The Outer Limits.
The Bridges Dynasty television has seen a lot of family casting, but nothing like this. The premiere episode of the 1995 revival starred Lloyd Bridges, his son Beau Bridges, and Beau's real son Dylan, playing a grandfather, father, and son. 3 generations of the same family playing 3 generations of the same family in the same episode on the same set. It had never been done before in a sci-fi premiere. It hasn't been done since. And it wasn't just a gimmick. Beau carried the episode as a scientist who steals Martian eggs from a government lab and brings them home. His performance was so raw, so committed, that he earned an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series. For a pilot episode. The show hadn't even aired its 2nd week. The Martin connection before the Dragons, before the weddings, before HBO. George R.R. Martin wrote the story that launched the entire revival. His 1979 novella Sand Kings, winner of both the Hugo and the Nebula Award, became the 2-hour premiere that introduced the world to the new Outer Limits. The story is a Frankenstein tale. A scientist nurtures alien life. He loses control. He pays for it. Hey, Martin wrote it decades before Game of Thrones made him a household name, and it remains one of the most decorated short science fiction stories ever published. The show didn't ease into its premise. It opened at maximum darkness and dared the audience to keep up. Most of them did. The Walking Dead connection. The man who built every zombie in The Walking Dead got his start on this show. Greg Nicotero, co-founder of KNBEFX Group, the effects house behind some of the most iconic creature work in Hollywood history, built the Sand King puppets for the pilot episode. He was brought in specifically because the creatures needed to feel biological, tactile, real, not rubber suits, not early CGI. The Sand Kings had to move like something alive, something that could evolve, something that could worship. Nicotero delivered. Variety singled out his puppet work by name in their review, calling the creatures genuinely convincing. It was 1 episode, 1 credit, but the DNA of what he built here, practical, visceral, physical, would define his career for the next 30 years. The double life. Every episode had a secret twin. Because the show aired first on Showtime, premium cable, no content restrictions, producers could film nudity and graphic violence that network television couldn't touch. And they did. But then came syndication, local channels, family hour time slots. So they filmed 2 versions. The same scene, the same actors, different wardrobe. Filmed back to back, sometimes on the same day. 1 cut for cable, 1 cut for everywhere else. 6 seasons, dozens of episodes. Actors walking through the same scene twice. Once in costume. Once without, so the show could exist in 2 different Americas simultaneously. The version most people saw on late-night local TV wasn't the show the creators made. It was the polite version, the one that survived the edit. The Cigarette Smoking Man. Both shows filmed in Vancouver. Both shows ran on the same network. Both shows pulled from the same crew. William B. Davis, the cigarette smoking man from The X-Files, appeared in The Outer Limits playing exactly what you'd expect. A morally compromised authority figure running a secret scientific project with no regard for human cost. The casting was never accidental. Vancouver in the mid-90s was a small world. The same talent pool fed both productions. Davis himself said the Outer Limits role let him push the ethics of his character further than The X-Files ever allowed. 2 shows. Same city, same actor, same shadow. The crossover was never official. It didn't need to be. The voice. You never saw his face. You heard him every week for 7 years. Kevin Conway provided the control voice narration for all 152 episodes of the revival. But here's the detail most people miss. It wasn't one speech recorded and repeated. Every single episode had its own unique opening narration and its own unique closing narration, written specifically for that story. 152 openings, 152 closings, all Conway. He set the tone before the first scene. He delivered the moral after the last. The show's entire philosophical weight, its conscience, lived in that voice. Conway died in 2020. The narrations remain. Every one of them still works exactly as intended. There is nothing wrong with your television. Sci-fi anthology television does not win Emmys for acting. And that's not how it works, except once. A Stitch in Time told the story of a trauma survivor who used fetal brain tissue to build a time machine and traveled back to kill serial killers before they struck. Amanda Plummer played the scientist. Her performance was so precise, so controlled, so completely unhinged in exactly the right moments that the Television Academy gave her the Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Drama Series. A sci-fi cable anthology, beating prestige network drama. The show had been on the air less than a year. It had already produced one of the most unusual Emmy wins in genre television history. Nobody saw it coming. That was the point. Luke Skywalker, billed as a cameo. Check the credits for Mind Over Matter. Find Mark Hamill's name. It reads, Special Cameo Appearance by. He was the lead. Hamill played a computer engineer who invents a machine capable of entering a comatose person's mind. He uses it to reach the woman he loves. He falls in love with her inside a virtual world. Then the machine itself falls in love with him. By the end, he can't tell which version of her is real, and he kills the wrong one. That's not a cameo. That's a full episode. That's the whole story. Whether the billing was his choice, the studio's choice, or a quiet joke nobody explained, it stands. Luke Skywalker, listed as a cameo appearance, carrying 45 minutes of science fiction television on his own. The kid who kept coming back. Ryan Reynolds appeared in 4 episodes of The Outer Limits between 1995 and 1998 in an anthology series, where by design, no actor was supposed to return. His first appearance came at 18 years old, in a haunted house episode where he played a young man trapped inside the walls. He came back the following year, then again, this time as part of a 2-episode arc about human evolution and alien contact. 4 episodes, 4 different characters, 3 years. The show that reset its entire cast every single week made one exception, again and again, for the same Canadian kid from Vancouver. It documented his early career in real time without ever meaning to. By the time Reynolds left, he was ready for everything that came next. The Tax Shelter. The Outer Limits didn't film in Vancouver for creative reasons. It filmed there because Canadian tax incentives made it financially possible to produce 22 episodes per season at a budget that would have collapsed in Los Angeles. Lower crew costs, government production credits. Yes, he established local infrastructure built specifically to attract American productions. The anthology format, the endless variety, the new cast every week, the ambition of a different world every episode was underwritten by a tax strategy. It sounds unglamorous. It was the only reason the show survived long enough to matter. 7 seasons, 152 episodes. All of it built on a spreadsheet someone ran in 1994. The recycling operation. When money ran short, the producers found an elegant solution. They made episodes out of the show itself. Most seasons included clip shows. Full episodes built around archive footage from earlier in the run, wrapped in new framing stories that justified why we were seeing old material again. The show constructed elaborate in-universe reasons to replay its own history. Alien conspiracies. Government hearings, witnesses reviewing evidence. It was a budget rescue operation disguised as storytelling, and it mostly worked. Fans watching in real time rarely noticed. They thought they were getting new mythology. What they were actually getting Was the production keeping the lights on for one more week? The overnight wiped 6 years, 6 seasons, one set of rules. Then the show moved to the Sci-Fi Channel for its 7th and final season, and overnight, everything changed. The network banned nudity, banned profanity, the content that had defined the show's identity since 1995, the reason Showtime had wanted it in the first place, was gone. Same crew, same format, same control voice, completely different restrictions. The final season is the only one that plays like a different series. Cleaner, safer, quieter. The edge that made it dangerous had been removed by a network note. The show that once filmed every scene twice, one version for cable, one for everywhere else, ended its run producing only the polite version. The man who wrote Psycho, Joseph Stefano, wrote the screenplay for Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. He also created the original 1963 Outer Limits. When the revival launched in 1995, Stefano came back as executive consultant, then senior advisor, and stayed for 6 seasons. He didn't just consult, he rewrote one of his own original 1963 episodes for the new show, updating a story he had written 3 decades earlier. One man, 2 versions of the same series, 30 years apart. He was the connective tissue between the show's 2 lives, the person who understood both what it had been and what it was trying to become. Most viewers had no idea the hand that shaped the revival was the same hand that had built the original. No face twice. Here's the number that defines everything. 152 episodes, 7 seasons, 12 years of production history across 2 networks. 0 recurring main characters. Every week, new cast, new story, new world. The slate wiped completely. No safety net of familiar faces. No character to follow from episode to episode. The audience was asked to care about someone new every single time, with no guarantee they'd survive the hour. The only constant across all 152 episodes was Kevin Conway's voice. That's not just unusual for a 7-season American television series. It's essentially unprecedented. No other show at that scale has sustained a completely blank cast for that long and kept people watching. They kept watching. So which one lands hardest? The Bridges family making television history in the pilot? Amanda Plummer taking an Emmy-no sci-fi anthology had any right to win? Or Ryan Reynolds, the kid who kept coming back to the show that wasn't supposed to have anyone come back? Drop it in the comments, subscribe, and hit the bell. More declassified genre secrets coming soon.